Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Dr. Dihn
And Laura.
from Juvanni, our weekly podcast. And the topic for today is body dysmorphia and how Botox and fillers are not going to fix your body dysmorphia. But body dysmorphia is real, but also Botox and fillers can help with sometimes your own perception of aging. And is that important? Is that something that is worth going after? We are going to discuss some of these psychological impacts of anti-aging your appearance. So we'll go into several details.
Yes, we will.
How was your week?
It's very good so far.
Where's your hat?
Where's my hat? It was giving me a headache. We got a little cowboy theme going on. We have the beautiful pink hat and beautiful boots from Texas, straight from Texas. But we can't show you because Dr. Dihn is not wearing underwear. And if she lifts her legs, you're going to see her cooch.
All right, my mom might be watching this.
Oh no! Okay, TMI.
This is for the world.
TMI.
Laura always feels that she's talking to me in private, and her conversations are really rated R. Please tell your kids not to watch this.
Do not watch, but
please.
In the world we live in, I think having a conversation about not wearing underwear is minimal.
Actually, it's very important. Basically, I tell many of my female patients, please don't wear underwear every single day.
Why?
Because sometimes you can, you need to air
it out.
Air it out. And, sometimes I feel like, women come and they're like, oh, I have some leukorrhea, which is like, small fluid discharge that women tend to get. And sometimes it's also beneficial that you don't wear underwear because you're always like, it's you create an environment for the bacteria to grow faster. So once you air it out, it's a lot better.
But what if you're wearing pants?
That was not the topic of discussion.
But this is our conversation.
This is
We're always in a million directions.
We are squirrels, and we just keep going like from here to here, and that's why whenever she comes to the office, our average visit, like actually my average visit with almost everybody is like 40 to 45 minutes because we just keep talking. By the time I come home, I'm so talked out that I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to meditate and sleep.
I understand that.
It's like a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But yes, we will have an underwear podcast later.
No underwear.
No underwear.
Not today.
Just like when you are doing intermittent fasting, now suddenly the world is coming to us the realization that it's okay to be hungry, and when you go hungry a little bit, it actually creates your body to, it makes your body produce new mitochondria, new cells that very efficiently produce energy. Similarly, when you, this is the same thing also applies with underwear. Like, you have to give your body a break so that it can regenerate and recover. And sometimes just not wearing it at night is not enough. And there are some women who wear that at night also, and that's not good.
Okay, well, we'll touch on that topic.
We'll sleep naked. That's what I would say. That is the best way to do, and is sleep in a cool room. The temperature should be down low, and preferably sleep without any clothes on. So that is the most effective way of restoring your body. Also, keep the lights down. That really makes your sleep very, very efficient. So I know we are like 20 miles away from the body dysmorphia thing, but let's get back to,
how was your weekend? What exciting news do you have to share with us?
Oh, well, I was very fortunate to go to this amazing conference in Austin. It was with the self-publishing school, and I was also, they were the ones who actually helped me publish, and my publisher was there, so I was able to meet my publisher, and I was able to actually get my book released, and
Yay!
it was really, really amazing. I've never been in a room with so many people who were so fantastically talented and passionate about life in general, and like about giving back and making an impact. I had not seen so many impactors in one room. Like, you go and meet one person, and you listen about their story, and like everybody had like either written a book or several books, or were in the process of drafting and writing. And I was like, oh,
that
okay.
must have been very empowering.
I know. It was like, it is possible. Another world is not only possible, but it is, I could see it happening. And it was really enriching to know that there are so many people who are so passionate about so many great causes. And I was very blessed. So my book got released, and a lot of people, gave me very positive feedback on it, and I'm very excited for that.
So where is the book to read, order? How can we get it?
It's on Amazon.
Okay.
It's on Kindle. There is a Kindle version, which is $9.99, $9.99, and then there is a paperback version, which is the soft cover right now, which is $29.99, and then I intend to also set up a hardcover, and my Audible, I'm working on it, so it's probably gonna come out, because I totally understand there are so many fellow dyslexics around who don't like to read the book, and
Sure.
they usually will like to hear me say. So basically, when you look at my book, the book is called Do We Really Need Botox? And I have been injecting Botox for the past like 7 years at least, and I love it. And even before 7 years, I actually was a consumer of Botox. So I used to go to a plastic surgeon's office. I used to assist her in surgery in her own facial plastics, and then she used to inject me, but I thought that initially when I started this, I was like, oh my god, I shouldn't be, this is so expensive. I loved the effects of it, because it basically reverses the skin aging process.
Right.
Because as you are aging, just food and just exercise is only going to take you this far. After that, your body is still aging. Every cell of your body has an internal clock. And so the cell knows that at what point it starts unraveling. I mean, whether you like it or you don't like it, your internal cell memory and knowledge is there. We haven't gotten to it yet, because our body is like the most complicated computer ever created. It's way complicated than the computers that we actually work with.
So do you feel, for you personally, that getting these anti-aging services, Botox, fillers, and so forth, has helped your body dysmorphia?
So see, body dysmorphia is like, for our readers, what is body dysmorphia? Body dysmorphia, there are like, without going into too intricate detail of it, I would like to tell people that body dysmorphia is it's your personal self-perception of your body. Men usually don't have a lot of body dysmorphia, because men don't have that good of self-awareness of what's happening with their faces or what's happening with their bodies, because that's the way their brains work. But women have a lot of self-perception issues, and women are like actually more sophisticated than a female body is a more sophisticated
Right.
body than a male body, because we basically reproduce, and our bodies are basically capable of a lot of function, different kinds of function. So I think that body dysmorphia in female is the reason that it is more prevalent. At a certain level, it is present in a lot of women, but it doesn't impact their daily lives. It doesn't impact their emotional situation or their mental states. but there are also women who suffer from body dysmorphia as a disease. And then what is, how do you create, how do you make, help those women? So those women definitely, I mean, they come to me all the time. They have like severe body image issues and stuff. Those people I just send straight away to the psychiatrist, to the psychologist. They need very intense therapy, sometimes also medications.
Is it, so the women that you've experienced with this, is it one body part that they're fixated on? Is it their whole body? Like what have you seen?
So mostly it is, I feel that it could be any part of the body that their brain just gets fixated on, and it depends on their personality, on their lifestyles, how they grew up, what their environment is. How their friends are working. So there are women who would be worried about their face. Then there are women who would be worried about their nose. There would be women who worried about their ass. Okay, my ass looks whatever, or my stomach is hanging, or my boobs have started sagging. What should I do? And then, they start to worry about it, and then they start to fix it. At certain levels, so personally, I am against surgery. And the reason I'm against surgery is not because of, I have so many amazing plastic surgeon friends. But the reason I am against surgery is because I feel that if you don't take care of your body on a continual basis, and then suddenly you turn 65 one fine morning, and then you're like, oh, let me go and get like a full plastic surgery up here, and let me go get all this plastic surgery and liposuction and everything and boob lift and whatever, a mommy makeover in the other sense, in a way. And then they think that, all right, now that I look young, my brain will also start acting as if I'm young, and that sometimes may not work.
So it's preventative, is
yes.
what you're saying.
Yes. So I think that anti-aging in its essence is basically preventing the things from happening. It's like a stitch in time saves you 9 and more. I think a stitch in time saves you like literally everything. I think it will save you at least 10 years, if not more.
Mind-body connection,
yes,
right?
The mind and body are connected. So if you are internally feeling like you are 30, but you're actually, when we look at you and you look like 50, maybe for the next 10 or 15 or 20 years, you may not feel anything, and you're like, okay, but as the disconnect between what your face looks like to your brain and what your body feels internally, as that disconnect basically increases, you are going to see your body start manifesting different physical illnesses. And so there is that brain and body and how we look to ourselves. I'm not talking about other people. I'm not saying that, okay, your face is this and you convert it into your favorite actress's face. No, that's not the essence of anti-aging. Anti-aging is you yourself, how you're looking after your own personal body. Actually, some very groundbreaking work about lifespan and increasing the lifespan has taken place already. And I don't know if you've heard about David Sinclair. He has really written a lot about, he's a Harvard scientist, and he has written a lot about how to anti-age. And he was one of those people whom Pfizer actually got into, kind of discredited what he was saying. He was like talking about resveratrol that was very good at a cellular level for our cells, and Pfizer said that, oh, resveratrol is nothing, and basically discredited all his work. So now I was reading his book, and despite other people discrediting his work, he kept on it, and today he has been proven right. His own labs are proven right, and and people are beginning to take him seriously. But what he is doing is he's working at anti-aging of the cell at a cellular level. And because he says the exact same thing, our cells have that internal knowledge of aging. And how do you anti-age? Sometimes you need to put some stuff. Also, there can't be too much of a disconnect between what your cells are experiencing inwardly and what your brain is looking at outwardly. So sometimes when I say that your Botox dose, I don't give it according to your chronological age. So you could be, how young are you, Laura?
105. Thanks to Dr. Dihn, I look 49.
Does she look like 49? There is no way she looks like 49. She's 49.
49.
And she actually, if I look at her, because I see people all day long, and this is my job, so I know skin age of people. And her skin age, as far as I'm concerned, is like around 35. And the reason that she looks like 35 when she's 49 is because all the healthy lifestyle habits that she has. So she's like the things that you do. You meditate regularly.
I do.
She's an extremely authentic and genuine person and friend. She is one of the most positive people I personally know. She is, you exercise regularly.
I do, every day.
Every day. And
exercising, meditating, water, eating the right way. And I believe that contributes to the way that you look. What you do to the inside, it reflects on the outside.
Absolutely. So that is one of the things that my pet peeves is that Botox is not going to make you a nice person, or Botox is not going to give you a purpose in life.
Right.
Botox is not going to make you a good friend or a wife. But Botox can reverse a little bit of aging, and you have to do it continuously, because right now we don't have things that last that much longer, but people are working on it. Eventually we will probably have Botox that you'll have to do once a year, and there's so Botox I'm like using as a generic name for any of the toxins that help you relax the muscles and actually reverse the signs of aging. So yes, it is people are like actually scared of using Botox because they are like, oh, it is a toxin. Well, we use a lot of toxins sometimes to help our bodies regenerate and rejuvenate. And sometimes the actual real Botox is, of course, really harmful for humans. But they take away the bad part of that bacteria, and they use only a controlled part of that bacteria, and it is no longer toxic to your body. And the doses that we give are so little that they actually make a difference in the entire system.
What I find interesting is what I have experienced is women that are against Botox because it's toxin and but they're drinking, they're smoking, they're doing all these different kind of things in their life, but they won't do Botox. So it's
on the other hand, I also see women, as you were saying, and in your gym, what you were saying, that there are women who are living really healthy lives.
Right.
And they're like eating such great food and whatever. And then they're really not doing anything to maintain their external appearance.
Right.
It's
their
like as if you have a car.
phenomenal.
If your body was a car, you would say, okay, they're keeping everything inside, spick and span. But outside, they have like scratches, they have dents, they have like whatever. And when the brain looks at their own image, the brain sometimes is like, oh wow, I think you are almost approaching the age grandma was when she started developing heart disease. So perhaps this is now time for you to develop heart disease also. And then you start having chest pain problems, and then you go to the doctor. That is my hypothesis, by the way. But guess what? It's going to be proven right one day, and you guys will be watching this video. That's it. History will prove me right. But anyway, so this is, so this is my hypothesis, but this is what I see, like over the past 10 years. I know women who are like her, or like myself, who we took care of ourselves. I mean, look at my jawline. I'm 48. Right?
Beautiful.
So the thing is, but I do a lot of shit, for all this stuff. I mean, it's not possible. It's so
But it's
expensive.
self-care.
It is self-care. And, just like when you go and take your car for detailing and this and that, I mean, it's not easy. Or your home, for instance, if you don't drive. I was giving somebody this car thing, and the guy is like, I don't drive, actually. I live in Manhattan. And I'm like, oh, okay. So what about your apartment? Like, do you take care of your apartment? Do you keep it clean?
Right.
Do you, once the walls and chip starts falling somewhere, or if the light goes out, do you fix it? Similarly, your body is requires the same, care.
Absolutely, and I
maintenance.
feel that you should put the self-care, put all that into yourself. You know, it doesn't cost anything to drink the correct amount of water. It doesn't cost anything to sit for a minute and meditate and collect your thoughts. It doesn't cost anything to change your mindset and be grateful and be kind to people. That's it.
Exactly. So all those things go hand in hand with how you feel about yourself. And sometimes what you look like is a very important part of how you feel about yourself. Many times women come to me and they're like, oh, well, I am worried about this and that and fix me. But my husband, he does not care about what he looks like. And he's like, oh, all this is crap. And I seriously tell them, and that is the reason, because men don't have a lot of self-awareness. That is the reason that men die faster than women. Right. Mostly earlier than women, because they have no self-awareness that, oh yeah, my face is totally shriveling into like a prune. They're like, well, whatever. Oh, my belly is hanging up until here. Oh, who cares? No, that is wrong. Women have that. That is why we outlive men. And men should take care of them. If your husband is not looking after, maybe I should remove my...
No, don't remove it.
Oh no, my hair looks horrible. Okay. That is one thing. No, that is one thing that what happens with hats. Once you wear.
I know. Then you have.
Once you have a cowboy hat, you always have to have a cowboy.
You always have to have a cowboy hat.
No, I want to. Okay, fine. I'll just whatever. Okay, so so anyway, thank you. I look at myself and I see that this is what happens to women. Like I have like that self-awareness. By the way, I have body dysmorphia also, and that is why it was very important for me to fix my face and keep my face like at least from. So I had psoriasis when I was growing up, and my psoriasis was cured when I had my daughter when I was 26. So what happened is although the external appearance of psoriasis was gone, but I had a deeply ingrained psychological burden of knowing that I have psoriasis and that I'm ugly. My brain had etched an ugly image of itself into itself. So it took me like almost 10-15 years to get over it. And plus I was in a bad marriage also on top of that. So that didn't help. So it took me a while to like really become self-assured and to be like, okay, I look fine and I'm fine. So that is one of the things that, when I was like 40 and when I was like, okay, I would look at myself and I had also, my skin had started wrinkling and stuff. It was like, oh wow, the only nice part of myself where my face was like cute, I was like, oh wow, that's also disintegrating. So when I did Botox and fillers, it really felt great.
It helped,
I was like,
right?
whoa, it's awesome. This is amazing. This like I'm always gonna get this. And so that way, so I did maintain myself. So now I'm like 49. I think a lot of things that I did for myself basically were for self-help. And then when I was feeling so much better, I was like, okay, maybe I should offer it to my other patients. And as I did that for other women, I saw that the lives of those women improved. Wow. And I clearly see the distinction between women who do this, and they're also doing all the other healthy things, like, they're eating well, they're cutting down on all the bad processed foods, alcohol, smoking, all the bad habits that we develop during our lifetimes. And then, they start maintaining themselves, and they become more self-aware of how to look after themselves just by maintaining this. So I see a definite the distinction between the way people are. And I always tell people that, one day the world will be divided between the rich and the poor, and all the rich will be looking really nice, even though they may or may not be nice people. But because, you don't know, like, if you're looking nice, not necessarily, you may not be a nice person. But the poor will definitely not look nice. Because, they'll be like, all right, after 40, you look nice for like maybe 10 years, or if you're like really, really good with your eating and exercise and you're taking the anti-aging pills. Because right now there is really not one pill or one supplement that you can go and take and it stops the internal body's clock from aging. But the only thing that does that is Botox or a filler here and there, which helps in like for especially for the face. It helps, and the rest of the body you can maintain with exercise. But there is no gym for your face, honey. There's no gym.
The gym is Juvanni.
The gym,
spa for
the
your
gym
face.
is like a spa next to you, with a doctor who does not just give this to you. So sometimes, one of the things is that with body dysmorphia, I have so many people who come to me, and I just have to tell them, listen, you don't need anything. You don't need whatever. And then there are some people who come to me for something else. They're like, oh, I'm here for my weight reduction or this or weight control and whatever. And I'm like, by the way, you need some Botox and fillers on your face also. And there is no disconnect between, okay, I will not do anything up here, but everything is going to be happening down here.
Right.
No, there's no disconnect. So
together.
I have to tell people either not to do things or to do some things, and to be as genuinely authentic as that I can be. I inform them. And it is important for people to look after themselves, because eventually, nobody is going to be able to retire by the time they're 65. Because guess what? I don't know. I mean, like, how many people are going to retire? So I think that it is better to invest in ourselves and be productive for another 10, 15 years. So I think that basically, if you do these procedures and processes, you should be productive for another, up until maybe 70, 80,
I agree. I don't plan on
if you
retiring.
can, exactly. I mean, I don't plan to retire ever. I need to be, like, I tell everybody that I'll probably be working until lunchtime of the day that I die. Maybe I'll be like Einstein. I'll still be doing, let me write this one thing and then goodbye.
I'm showing up to do somebody's hair with my walker.
Yes, I'll be coming in with my injection. Oh, I have a little Parkinson's.
No.
But here, let me inject you my last dose before I die. Here, honey. That is my last thing, So yeah, we should have a TV serial.
The Golden Girls.
The Golden Girls of Botox. Anyway, so this is the thing. Please, everybody who purchase my book, one of the good things about the book is that this is not only a very useful book for you. I told everybody that when I went to the authors conference, I was talking to, they made us go through a workshop, and they were like, okay, who were you speaking to when you were writing this book? And I knew that when I was writing this book, I was talking to my daughter. I was like,
oh, that's
beautiful. This is, I mean, I may not be around all the time, and I mean, I worked so much.